All right. I'm in Phoenix for a little bit. I haven't had the changeover yet. We'll see. Back to Verizon. I had them for 10 years. We'll see if this works still. Cognitive dissonance, blanking out or blacking out. Still a man or a woman, still a person hears what they want to hear and disregards the rest. I forget the technical term for it, but it's we only want the feedback and see the feedback of what we already believe in. Confirmation bias, that's it. We only want to look at those things that confirm what we believe in, so we have a bias to find those. I saw a cartoon the other day that said, researching on the internet, researching, which means until you find a website that completely agrees with you, then you stop. Go, see, I was right, right? Confirmation bias. But it goes deeper than that. It's actually, the human mind is a huge filter. Our consciousness mixed with the human body is a huge filter of information. Obviously synapses, neurotransmitters, eyesight, hearing, senses, all the senses, extrasensory perception, the pituitary, pineal gland, all your glands, your heart, your solar plexus, your gut, your intuition, all of that taps in. So there's many dimensions around us. Now you can open this up. Naturally it happens as you do Kundalini yoga or just prayer. It starts happening, the visions of religious people and so forth. Or ayahuasca or mushrooms or psychedelics will help crack open to see the other dimensions. But most of the time we're filtering them out, just to function or whatever, to play this game in 3D. For me, the last 25 years, it started to dissolve a little bit. So if I relax and look, I can start seeing into the other dimensions. I'm not saying that from an ego basis, it's just spiritual physics. There's millions of you that do it as well. You do it all the time. But one thing is, it's interesting, I was recently trying to share a video with my mother, and she literally cannot look at it, right? Because it's against her worldview or what she's currently believing. And it just reminded me of how we all do it. I'm not, this is not to look down on people and so forth. Until you're melted with Buddha and God and Source, and you feel 1 trillion dimensions all at once, you're still in confirmation bias. You're still selectively viewing and feeling the universe. So it's not about, well, I'm a bit more advanced than you. No, don't do that. That'll just get you backwards, really. So. But we only see what we can. So this video was something I wanted to show her that was actually a political video, because I agree with 98% of what my mom and I are tuned into stuff, but I was trying to find common ground. So someone that you've judged to be a certain way, this political person, I tried to show her a video, go, well, look here, they're trying to do middle of the road, heart, humanity, common ground, and she cannot watch it, literally. I'll send it to her, tag her in it. She responds to all my other comments, but that one just won't show up for her. Now, what I'm suggesting here is actually affecting your reality. You don't know you're doing it, so you go, well, seeing is believing. I don't see it, doesn't exist, right? That's how the scientism mind dysfunctionally works. Well, it's not here. The jowls start moving. My authority, my ultimate professor in Geneva, the Einstein Institute in Zurich, right? I'm making fun of it a little bit, right? Or religionism, any ism, any belief system. That's why someone like, in my opinion, Kanye West is brave to fucking try to break the boxes that we've been divided and conquered into. Or Jeff Flake, or Koons, or anyone trying to do, which is these latest judicial hearings with Kavanaugh and all that. And it's a collective game we're playing to see, still a person hears what they want to hear and disregards the rest. Confirmation bias. It's a very interesting phenomenon. But you literally filter it out. Like Yogananda tells the story of, look, there's Krishna. And his brother disciple says, where? I don't see him. And Yogananda's like, you're blind. And he taps him on the forehead because yoga has those powers, so Yogananda can do it. And then his friend sees it, but it scares him and he quits being a monk and goes, who knows what happened to him, right? Because it's very terrifying to open these things up or it's shocking to the system. Like right now, there's a collective program, huge collective programs, right? And if all of a sudden it all decloaked, it would be the insane asylum on Earth. It already is, but we're suppressed enough to be well. And one person I know said once, we're all well-behaved schizophrenics, right? Jekyll and Hyde. We've suppressed our shit. We're hiding it in the basement in our subconscious. And if all of a sudden the Pandora's box opened wide open, whoa, you'd be insane because you couldn't handle. There's a gnome, holy shit, there's a white tiger, there's a big dragon behind me. And my dog turns into, which happened, whatever. Oh, I see my dog is this young green dragon, which I've done with Bentley. And so it's very gentle, the Tao. Sometimes it's shocking. There's many spiritual casualties, Kundalini casualties. So waking up gradually in packets you can handle, So you literally will block stuff out. I've had UFOs show up. It's happened to me. I'm not saying when it first started happening to me, one of my good friends, we were in a canyon up in northern Arizona, and I blanked out for about, I don't know how long, 5-10 minutes. And when I came back, I go, there was a UFO floating. This is the first time ever a UFO for me. I haven't seen them since physically. I'm able to remember it. But what do we remember? What don't we remember? What are we blanking out, right? So just to be aware of this game that we're doing on Earth, which is ultimately a loving game, because God doesn't want to freak you the fuck out. You piss yourself in your diapers in some asylum and end up yelling in the corner, which is happening anyway to people. So this opening of the dimensions, we need to be a little bit loving with it, tender. What are you ready for? It's touch and go as it is, isn't it? We're freaked out. I am. After 25 years of yoga and doing all this shit, the next thing that happened to me this last year, I'm like, it's that picture of what people think spiritual awakening is. You're there, in your white robes and tinkling your crystals. Fuck no, you're hanging on for dear life going, shit, I'm not crazy, hold me together, God, I'm fucking just disintegrating here, right? So, love, careful, full of care, I suggest, for yourself and others, Yeah. So we literally filter our reality. Thank God for that, for now. But eventually, when you meet a Buddha or something, he's seeing all kinds of things behind you. I can do that a little bit now. I'm a baby, I'm, compared to like a Yogananda or Jesus or Shiva or, these masters. They're multi-dimensional, projecting bodies, thousands of bodies, maybe millions. Version of the force, which is inside everyone and everything, right? So as the veils come down, as all things shall come to light, that's what the word apocalypse means. It means full divine revelation. You draw back the curtain and you're going to see the little fat pudgy man pretending to be the Wizard of Oz, which is going to happen increasingly. Everyone's going to be shown for what they really are. The good, the bad, the ugly, and the pretty, all of it. So you're going to see your beauty and you're going to see your ugliness. You're going to see, holy shit, our government's been doing that. They've been hiding this from us and that. And those people that look so good, they've been doing these horrible rituals in private. And it's a shock to the system. Instead of Leave It to Beaverland or the Huxtables. Hello, gee, Mr. Huxtable, Bill Cosby, which was the Leave It to Beaver thing 20, 30 years later, right? And, Mr. Huxtable was drugging women. He had such nice sweaters. It caused a whole sweater trend in America. Those amazing fucking sweaters. And, Bill Cosby's been drugging women and raping them? I mean, kind of like the most horrible thing. Kaboom! In my opinion, 27 years ago with Judge Clarence Thomas, he did what Anita Hill said. And I think Kavanaugh, in my opinion, he's hiding his drinking thing. And we all got problems. It's not a judgment. It's just not good Supreme Court justice material, We need someone who's impartial as much as possible. He feels very angry, very partial. Maybe not a good idea. Maybe someone like Justice Sotomayor or the Chief Justice, Robertson, or I forget his name. I love, those guys have judicial, impartial as much as possible. that taking sides and fighting each other, everybody loses. An eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, leaves, hand for hand, leaves everyone blind and limbless, right? Like Gandhi said. So this is forcing us to realize, where's their common ground? Where's their common heart? And that's why I liked, in my opinion, what Jeff Flake did. He was willing to go reach across the divide, the aisle, and go, we can't divide the country like this. We've got to work together, three gather, four gather, five gather, all gather ourselves back into some unity, oneness, unity. All right. So we block stuff out. We filter it all the time. All the time. Physically block it. I've seen UFOs appear. In my case, I blanked out. I just saw it in my mind's eye when I came back and said, there was a UFO up there and there was people in it, right? I said, yeah. Because he could see it physically. Next time it happened, we both saw it. And it floated like across for like 2 minutes in front of our car going down to a river in Arizona. And we were like, did you see that? Yeah, I did too, and I didn't forget it. Other times, So we're all having these experiences all the time, and then spiritual amnesia is what I call it. There's a teacher I know that used to float in front of hundreds of people. He'd levitate in front of hundreds of people. The next day, 3 people would remember it. That was it. Everyone else went, no, he didn't. We adjust our reality according to our projector, which is our whole spinal column and system. We physically can't receive the material. We literally blank it out. And thank God for that. It's like spiritual morphine. It helps us not get overwhelmed and end up drooling in the corner in a straitjacket. Although it's happening, right? Look at the homeless people. I was just at the gas station yesterday, and as I walked by one guy, he's like, she's gonna kill you! He's just screaming into the whatever he's seeing, and sad. So if we can be tender and helpful and careful, full of care for this awakening, this apocalypse, which only the people that want to keep it in the dark and keep it in the occult, all occult means is occluded. There's an occlusion in my diamond ring, it's not as good, my boyfriend don't love me. No. Occult means just hidden. So all the occult things are going to come out now. For good, for bad. It's going to be a fucking wild ride. It already is, but it's not getting better for a while. It's going to get more and more intense as all things are coming to light. So prepare yourself for seeing the shadow beings and this and that and dreams and dimensions and strange sensations, and work on yourself connective so that you'll be strong enough when these things happen that you'll be able to handle it and not go crazy or check out. A lot of people will be going crazy and checking out because we've waited till the last minute to study for the exam here, in my opinion. Maybe not. The Earth's not blowing up or anything. The Earth will be here for billions of years still. Some of us are going somewhere else for a relocation, remedial school program, right? Much love. Check into the webcasts if you're interested, where you can ask questions or just listen in incognito if you want. TobiasLars.com, and I recommend starting with the InnerBodyAwakening.com to start. That's what I was doing for an hour and a half this morning, just to stay grounded and connected. Then I walk my dog, or if you have a job, you do that, but you make priority before and after work or during your lunch break to connect to Source. This is what's going to change the planet. Not marching in the streets. That's just going to feed into the cabals setting one against the other and having us go down in flames. I mean, it's the right time for protest, but protest is second or third. First is hook up to your own divinity inside yourself. And research on the internet doesn't qualify as that. You got to have a practice, some connection practice. Qigong, yoga, Tai Chi, prayer, meditation, the inner body awakening, which is the one I find the best. All right, much love. That's it. I was going to do it short, but I can't. More later.